When you talk about fair trade, what I think you should be talking about is trade that allows that competition to take place. And fair trade is where you might have disciplines on countries or trading partners who don't do that, who distort their markets for competitive advantage. So, it might be a subsidy, so we already have rules in the trading system to deal with subsidies. We don't really have rules in the trading system to deal with what Alden and I have christened anti-competitive market distortions, or ACMDs. And you need I would argue you need some disciplines on those ACMDs, on those distortions in other markets. So where a country is distorting its market for trade advantage, so that some of its companies get a trade advantage, that is not fair. That violates the sort of principle of trade openness being about import competition. And so you should discipline that. But should you discipline a country that does something in a different way, whether it has a labour rule that's different or an environmental rule that's different? I mean, I would argue that you shouldn't do that, because different countries are at very different levels of development. And, you might be attacking by saying you must have the same, labour rule or the same environmental rule as us in the West. You might be attacking that country's very comparative advantage, the very reason they can go up the value chain and lift their people out of poverty. So, you need to think about, so they're not all the same. So when you talk about fairness, these different things, these different rules, these different disciplines, they're not all the same. And I think the best yardstick is to say, well, if it affects competition, then it's sort of, fair game, for fair trade, it should be included.